Hi, I'm Carter, 34, and 3 weeks ago, my wife's face shattered like a dropped wine glass in front of 150 people, because her secret plan to cheat on me got publicly nuked by corporate surprise and karma in a charcoal gray suit. Let me take you back to where it started. 7 years of marriage. That's what Anna and I had. 7 years, a suburban mortgage, 2 rescue cats, and a pretty solid tradition of Friday night takeout and true crime. We weren't flashy, but we were steady. Or so I thought. Until she started getting ready for work like she was auditioning for a perfume commercial. We're talking new dresses. New perfume. New attitude. Every morning she'd float around the house like it was Paris Fashion Week, and she was late for her close-up. All for a job in pharmaceutical sales. A job where, apparently, tight black dresses and smoky eyes were just being professional. I tried to bring it up. Told her she looked amazing. She got weird. Defensive. Accused me of being insecure. Said not everyone got to work in sweatpants like I did. Sure. Because remote consulting, which paid 70% of our mortgage, clearly wasn't real work. Then came the phone. She started hiding it. Laughing at texts, flipping it face down when I walked by. Work stuff, she'd say. Nothing you'd care about. I didn't push. Stupid me. I thought I was being a mature, chill husband. I figured if there was something wrong, she'd eventually talk to me. Because that's what grown-ups do. Communicate. Then came the ask. We were in the kitchen. I was cooking dinner. She leaned against the counter, nervous. I remember the way she twisted the ring on her finger like it was too tight. So, the office holiday party is Friday, she said. I think maybe you should skip it this year. Just like that. Why? Scott's going to be there. Now, Scott. Let me tell you about this guy. Or rather, let me tell you what I didn't know about him, anything. He was some ex from a decade ago, ancient history. According to her, it ended amicably. He moved to Seattle. She moved on. And then apparently he moved back. It might be awkward, she said. Awkward for who? She dodged the question like it was radioactive. Said she just didn't want any drama. That he'd been friendly lately. Asking about her life. Commenting on old photos. That kind of friendly. I asked if he was making her uncomfortable. She said no. I asked why she didn't report it to HR if he was. She said it wasn't serious. Then she said, please, just do this for me. And I, like a moron, said, okay. Because I thought I was being supportive. Because I thought she loved me. Because I had no idea that a surprise was coming. One she'd never see coming. I had just accepted a new job. A big one. Regional Director of Operations for the exact same pharmaceutical company Anna worked for. And the CEO wanted to introduce me at the holiday party. Oh, Anna. You should have let me come. Because the look on your face when you saw who your husband really was? Priceless. The week of the holiday party, Anna was in peak performance mode. She spent 2 hours getting ready Friday afternoon. Long shower, hair curled like she was stepping onto a movie set, makeup flawless, heels that I know for a fact hurt her feet but made her legs look good in photos. She tried on 4 dresses before settling on a tight black number I'd never seen before. Not even tags on it. You look beautiful, I said from the hallway. She jumped like I'd caught her mid-crime. Thanks, she mumbled. Just want to look professional. Adrian's going to be there. Adrian. Her CEO. My new boss. The same man who called me personally to offer the position of Regional Director of Operations and told me, let's make a splash at the party. You'll be our surprise guest. Anna kissed me on the cheek like it was just another Friday. Told me not to wait up. Slid her expensive heels on with a kind of practiced excitement, like she was going to prom and not a corporate function. Then she disappeared out the door, leaving behind a cloud of perfume and something else I couldn't quite name at the time. Guilt, maybe? Or anticipation. At 8:15 sharp, the car service Adrian arranged pulled up. Clean black sedan, driver in a suit. I wore the charcoal gray suit I bought for the final interview, the one Anna had barely commented on. Funny how invisible things can become when they don't serve someone's agenda. The venue was a downtown hotel ballroom. Swanky. Soft jazz playing in the lobby. waiters weaving through with champagne flutes and tiny crab cakes. I scanned my invitation at the front, was escorted to the executive table near the front stage. Adrian was already there, shaking hands and holding court. And that's when I saw him. Scott. Slick haircut, $1,000 suit, grinning like he was auditioning for a pharmaceutical cologne ad. Mid-30s, manicured, confident. Sitting right where Adrian motioned for me to join them. I didn't know his face, but the moment Adrian said, "Carter, this is Scott Carson, our new VP of Sales," everything locked into place. VP of Sales. Just promoted. Just moved back from Seattle. Oh, the universe has a twisted sense of humor. "Scott, meet Carter Price, our new Regional Director of Ops." Adrian beamed. "He's starting Monday." Scott stood to shake my hand. Smug. Confident. "Glad to have you, man. You're gonna love it here. Super collaborative environment." "Collaborative," I echoed, squeezing his hand just a little too tight. "I'm sure we'll work very closely." He laughed like he didn't hear the steel in my voice. Anna hadn't seen me yet. She was across the room near the bar, laughing too hard at some junior rep's joke, tossing her hair back in that exaggerated way she does when she wants to be noticed. Scott's phone buzzed. He glanced down. That same grin spread again. He tapped a quick reply, then looked up. "Your wife here tonight?" Adrian asked casually. "Divorced," Scott said smoothly. 2 years now. But I'm working on something promising." I already knew where this was going, but I let it play out. "Oh yeah?" Adrian asked. Scott leaned in conspiratorially. "Dated her years ago. Before she got married. Her husband's some remote consultant who works in sweatpants all day. She's been real receptive to reconnecting." I held my expression steady. The man was bragging to me, about trying to seduce my wife. In front of our boss. Adrian started talking projections, but I couldn't hear him. I was watching Scott steal glances at the bar. Watching Anna flirt with her wine glass. Watching the entire fragile tower she built start to wobble. At 9 o'clock, Adrian stood, tapped his glass for attention. The music cut. The room quieted. "Before we get back to celebrating," he said, "I want to introduce someone special. We've brought on a new regional director of operations. He'll be overseeing compliance, supply chain, and sales. Everyone, please welcome Carter Price." I stood. Polite smile. Small wave. And across the room, Anna turned. She saw me. And just like that, the drink slipped from her hand and shattered. 100 heads turned toward the sound. First to the floor, then to her, then to me. Scott sat frozen next to me, doing the math in real time. My name. My job title. The man he just spent 15 minutes bragging to about how he was working on my wife. Anna's face turned paper white. She knew. She knew everything had just gone to hell. And I just smiled, shook hands, and pretended it was all just another day at the office. The moment Anna dropped that wine glass, the party changed. The music kept playing, people resumed their mingling, but the energy in that ballroom shifted like a sudden cold front. Everyone had seen it. Everyone knew something had just gone down. The executive table turned into the eye of the storm. Adrian kept talking, something about Q1 targets, new integration strategies, but I couldn't hear him over the sound of my marriage imploding in slow motion. Scott didn't say another word. Not one. He sat there, staring straight ahead, posture stiff, glass untouched. I didn't even look at him. I didn't need to. His silence was all the confirmation I required. Anna vanished. I watched her weave through the crowd like a shadow, head down, no goodbyes, no eye contact, just gone. I kept playing the part. Shaking hands, meeting department heads, nodding at compliments about my experience and strategy. Every single one of them had seen the introduction. Seen my wife's reaction. No one said anything directly, but I could feel the tension behind their smiles. 15 minutes later, I slipped out. I found her in the hallway outside the ballroom, slumped against the wall like someone had unplugged her. Makeup smeared, clutching her phone like it could save her. When she saw me, her face crumbled. "Carter," she started, voice catching. I held up a hand. "Don't. Just don't. I can explain." I nodded slowly. Sure. Go ahead. I'd love to hear why my wife of 7 years told me not to come to a party because her ex would be there, and then I find out you've been flirting behind my back with the man I just got promoted over. It's not what you think. Really? Because he spent 15 minutes telling Adrian and me about some old flame who's been really receptive. Said her husband's a boring consultant who works in sweatpants. That ring any bells? She froze. Color draining again. We haven't done anything. I swear. Just texting. Talking. I got caught up. 6 weeks, Anna? What? That's how long ago he moved back to town. Right around the time you started dressing like you were going on The Bachelor, and suddenly couldn't put your phone down during dinner. Right around the time I told you I was interviewing for jobs to be closer to you. To be present. And you told me that was great, while you were already emotionally cheating. Tears welled up in her eyes. It didn't mean anything. I laughed. Not loud. Just one of those dry, dead laughs that comes when your heart's too tired to break again. Funny. Because to him, it meant a lot. You were the prize. He thought he won. And you were this close to handing yourself over. She reached for me. I stepped back. No. You don't get to touch me right now. Carter, please. I messed up. I got carried away. Scott made me feel. What? Seen? Desired? Alive? Pick your word. I know the script. I've read it all before. I didn't sleep with him. You told him our marriage was over. That I was lazy. That you were looking for a way out. Her lip trembled. I was just venting. No. Venting is saying I forgot to do the dishes. Planning hotel rooms is something else entirely. Her knees buckled slightly. She gripped the wall. I didn't go through with it. But you were going to. Silence. That was enough. I'm going back inside. I said. You're going home. You're packing a bag. You're staying anywhere else tonight. You're not stepping foot in my house. Her voice cracked. Our house. No. My house. The mortgage I pay. The life I built while you were out buying new perfume to impress your ex. That's not fair. Neither is finding out your marriage died in front of your coworkers. She crumbled then. Full tears, face in her hands, sliding down the wall like she wanted the floor to open and swallow her. I stood there for a second. Just a second. Then walked away. Back inside, Scott was gone. Vanished. Probably in a panic somewhere, trying to spin what just happened. Adrian came over, handed me a drink, clapped me on the back. You good? Peachy. He nodded. Didn't push. Good man. I stayed for another hour. Shook more hands. Made my debut. Played the part of the cool, calm new executive. Inside, my stomach was twisting in knots. When the car's service dropped me off around 11, her car was already in the driveway. Lights on. Suitcase half-packed in the bedroom. She sat on the edge of the bed like a statue. I need more time, she said without looking up. I don't know where to go. Not my problem. I walked into the office, grabbed my laptop, and filed the conflict of interest disclosure with HR. Formal. Clean. I removed myself from any connection to the sales team, noted that my spouse worked in that department, and CC'd Adrian. It wasn't just for appearances, it was to make sure when the fallout came, I'd already built a firewall. Then I turned to her. This is your one night. Pack what you need. Anything left tomorrow goes into storage. You can coordinate pickup through your lawyer. You don't mean that. 6 weeks, Anna? You lied. You planned. You disrespected me behind my back. You let another man talk about me like I was nothing. So yeah, I mean every word. I left. I drove to my brother Logan's place. He opened the door, took one look at me, and handed me a beer before I even said a word. Want to talk about it? My wife's having an affair with her ex. He's the new VP of sales. I'm his new boss's boss. And everything blew up at the company party. Logan whistled low. Damn. I nodded. We didn't say anything else for a while. Just sat at the table in silence, the way brothers do when the world has flipped upside down. I didn't sleep that night. Because by morning, I would have 312 pages of text records in my inbox. And everything I thought I knew was about to get worse. I woke up Saturday morning in Logan's guest room to the sound of my phone vibrating like it was trying to escape the nightstand. Dozens of missed texts from Anna. Missed calls from her mother. A few from unknown numbers, probably Scott, panicking now that the dust was settling. But then I saw the email. The carrier had processed my records request early. Premium business account. Lucky me. Attached, a 312-page PDF. 312 pages. My stomach dropped through the mattress. Logan wandered in with coffee as I opened the file. He saw my face. "You want me to go?" he asked. "No. Stay." Because I already knew I wasn't ready to be alone for what came next. The first few pages were harmless. Basic messages. Logistics. Calendar reminders. Nothing alarming. Then I scrolled. And the further I went, the louder the ringing in my ears got. Messages from Scott. Messages from Anna. Time stamped on days she told me she had client calls. Time stamped on days she came home exhausted. Time stamped on Wednesday afternoons when she said she had conferences. They weren't just talking. They had slept together. 3 times. Hotel rooms downtown. Booked by Scott. Paid with his corporate card. 1 room, 4 hours on a Wednesday. Another, late-night meetup. The 3rd, Monday. 3 days before the party. The night before she told me not to come. The texts afterward were explicit enough to make my vision blur. Compliments she never gave me. Desires she never shared. Promises she never kept. The kind of graphic, detailed messages that make you wonder how long someone has wanted out. Anna. I forgot what it felt like to be wanted. Scott. I'll give you that again every time. Anna. Carter just exists. He doesn't make me feel anything. Scott. You deserve better than a boring husband who works from home. They planned another meetup next weekend. A conference. In Baltimore she was going to lie about attending. Hotel booked. Scott confirming the reservation. Anna sending heart emojis like a lovesick teenager. I scrolled. Messages about me. Anna. He's lazy. He just games all weekend. She forgot to mention she told me she wanted me time on weekends and to stop dragging her out places. Anna. He gained weight. He's not trying. I'd gained 10 pounds. From making homemade dinners and eating alone while she worked late. Anna. I'm basically carrying the marriage. She carried nothing. I covered 70% of the bills while she bought new dresses to impress her ex. By page 200, my hands were shaking so badly I had to put the laptop down. Logan stood in the doorway, arms crossed, jaw tight. You good? He asked quietly. No. I wasn't. I wasn't even close. With cold clarity, I forwarded the entire file to my personal email. Then I looked up divorce attorneys. Found one who handled fault-based cases. Upload button. Send. Done. 20 minutes later my phone rang. An older woman's voice. Calm. Firm. Efficient. Mr. Price, this is Janet. I've reviewed your documents. Already? It's extensive. She cleared her throat. Pennsylvania allows fault-based divorce on grounds of adultery. With this evidence, we can file as early as Monday. How fast can we move? Very fast. Based on financial contributions and stability, we can seek full awards of marital assets, including the house. For the first time in 24 hours, I felt something other than pain. Resolve. By noon, Anna showed up at Logan's house. Sophie answered the door. I could hear everything from the kitchen. I need to talk to Carter. Anna pleaded. Please. Just 5 minutes. No, Sophie said. He doesn't want to see you. We've been married 7 years. And you threw that away. Sophie cut in. Go home. Anna tried pushing past her. Please, I just need to explain. Logan appeared. Leave now, or I'm calling the cops. The silence that followed was thick. Then I heard the sound of Anna breaking. Sobbing. Begging. Pleading. The kind of ugly crying that used to make me instinctively go comfort her. Not this time. Eventually she left. Sophie closed the door. The house went quiet. Sunday morning, an email popped up. Phone carrier. 312 pages had just become 319. Additional metadata. Location logs. Timestamps. Every last lie confirmed. By Monday morning, I walked into my new corner office for the first time. 3rd floor. Downtown views. Fresh start. Except it wasn't. Because at 8 a.m., Adrian knocked on my door. Got a minute? I nodded. He sat down. Serious. HR briefed me. About everything. Everything. Scott's been placed on administrative leave pending investigation, he said. There's more. During the review, accounting found major irregularities in his expense reports. How major? North of $30,000 in unauthorized charges. Some of them correspond to hotel stays with your wife. Of course they did. He's being terminated today, Adrian said. And we're considering legal action. I nodded, calm on the outside, burning on the inside. As if summoned by the universe, a new message appeared on my phone. From my lawyer. Documents ready. Divorce filing set for Thursday. Good. Because the storm Anna unleashed was only beginning. And she had no idea just how far-reaching the fallout would be. Monday afternoon, I sat in my office watching the city skyline while the HR complaint from Anna landed in my inbox like a grenade. Subject line: hostile work environment/retaliation allegation. Filed over the weekend. Greg from HR called me in within the hour. She's claiming harassment, he said, rubbing his temples like he was getting a migraine just saying the words. Abuse of authority. Says you had her transferred out of spite. That you've been contacting her outside work hours. Threatening her. I stared at him. Greg, I haven't spoken to her once since Friday night. Every communication has gone through my attorney. And I didn't get her transferred, you did. Greg sighed. I know. I reviewed the logs, Carter. Everything checks out. Your phone records, badge access logs, GPS data, all of it supports your side. But company policy still requires a formal investigation. Let me know what you need, I said. You'll have it within the hour. He nodded. Already requested your phone data from IT. Should be cleared soon. Just sit tight. We'll take care of it. I sent a quick message to Janet, my attorney, who already had everything on file, including every second of my GPS logs from work and the texts routed through her. She added it to our records and called back 10 minutes later. She's making a play, Janet said flatly. Trying to muddy the waters. Make herself look like a victim. Probably hoping it'll scare you into settling. But she's overplaying her hand. Not the first time. Just document everything. Stay silent. Let her dig the hole. Tuesday morning, Logan texted. Anna showed up here again. With her mom this time. Sophie answered the door. Get the hell off our property, she told them, according to Logan. This isn't a soap opera. Apparently, Anna cried. Claimed I was cruel. That she just wanted closure. Claimed her transfer had ruined her career. Said she had nowhere to go. Logan? Called the cops. Police showed up, didn't arrest anyone, but told Anna and her mother that showing up at someone else's home uninvited, twice, wouldn't look good in court. They left. Then Wednesday came. Security buzzed my desk at 9:42 a.m. Scott Carson is downstairs. Says he needs to see you. Claims it's urgent. Scott? I blinked. He's on the banned list. Already called the police, the guard said. But we wanted to check before we escalated. I'm on my way. I grabbed Greg from HR, and we both headed down. As the elevator doors opened into the lobby, we saw Scott pacing near reception. He looked like a man unraveling. Disheveled. Bloodshot eyes. Slurring his words even though it was barely 10 a.m. You ruined my life, he barked the moment he saw me. Everything I built. You took it all. Security stepped forward. One hand already on the walkie. Mr. Carson, you need to leave. You think you're better than me? He spat, ignoring the guard. She wanted me. She was going to leave you. I didn't flinch. And now she has nothing. Congratulations. Scott, back away. Greg said, voice like ice. I hope it was worth it, Scott growled. Destroying a man's career over a woman who doesn't even love you. That was it. I pulled out my phone. You're being recorded. If you contact me or Anna again, I'll send this to your ex-wife's custody attorney. His face paled. Seconds later, the cops arrived. They escorted him out, Scott still ranting about betrayal, about injustice, about me being a snake. Half the company watched from the mezzanine. Phones recording. Back upstairs, Greg made a formal report. We forwarded the footage to corporate security. That night, Janet called again. She's filing for temporary spousal support, she said. On what grounds? She claims your vindictive behavior got her transferred and that her standard of living has been reduced. She's making the same salary, I said. She just has to drive an hour now. Janet exhaled sharply. I know. We're going to fight it. But this confirms it. She's not trying to salvage anything. She's trying to bleed you. And then came the social media play. Anna posted a long Instagram story. A blurry black and white photo of her staring into the distance. Caption: Survivor of emotional abuse. Starting over. Finding my voice again. Tagged. #healing, #narcissistic abuse, #Phoenix Rising. Her friends ate it up. Supportive comments. Heart emojis. The whole chorus. Then her mom commented, "We stand with you, always." I didn't post anything. I didn't need to. Because her own family was already divided. Elena, her cousin, DM'd me, "This is so fake. I can't believe she's playing the victim after all that. Just know we're not all buying it." Even better? Her ex-friends started dropping off. Cassie unfollowed her. Jenna went private. Turns out that once someone's exposed as a liar in front of 150 coworkers and an entire regional sales department, the sympathy dries up fast. By Friday, HR closed the investigation. Unsubstantiated. I got the email at 10:02 a.m. At 10:03, I forwarded it to Janet. At 10:04, she filed the formal fault-based divorce on grounds of adultery with attached exhibits. By 11:30, the sheriff's office confirmed, Anna Price has been served. Her response? To wait in my office parking lot after work. She blocked my car door. "You're really doing this?" she asked, mascara smeared like war paint. "Already did. You're ruining my life." I smiled faintly. "No. You did that. I'm just letting the paperwork catch up." She choked on a sob. "Carter, please. I made a mistake." "No. You made a choice." Repeatedly. "I'm just finally making mine." I got in the car. Locked the door. Drove away while she stood there crying under the orange glow of the parking lot lights. And as I turned onto the freeway, my phone pinged with a message from Janet. "Trial set for next month. We're going in strong." "Oh, Anna. You thought you were playing chess. But this? This is checkmate." Monday morning came fast, and with it, Anna's last, desperate card. 6:31 a.m. My phone rang. It was Janet. "You're going to want coffee for this. Hit me. She filed an emergency motion this morning. Claims you're stalking her. Wants an immediate restraining order and emergency custody of marital assets." I actually laughed. "Stalking?" "She included photos of your car parked near her apartment. Same model, same color, but it's not you. She also submitted screenshots of text messages from unknown numbers she claims are from you. And a written statement from Scott. Oh, now they're a team. She's pulling a full-on coordinated smear campaign. They're trying to force your hand before the divorce hearing. Do we have enough to shut it down?" "We're not just shutting it down, Carter. We're going nuclear." Janet got a same-day hearing. We walked into the courtroom at 2 p.m. Anna sat across from me, visibly shaking, hands in her lap. Her lawyer, some polished guy with a $1,000 watch and a smirk that said he thought I'd crack, stood tall. The judge looked tired. "Mr. Price, how do you respond to these allegations?" Janet stood. Calm. Confident. "Your Honor, my client has had no contact with Mrs. Price since the initial separation. All communication has gone through legal counsel. We have submitted GPS data, phone carrier logs, and building access records that clearly show Mr. Price was at work during every alleged stalking incident. The judge nodded. Continue. Furthermore, the text messages submitted by Mrs. Price originated from a number tied to Mr. Scott Carson, recently terminated from Mr. Price's company for falsifying expense reports and currently under investigation for financial misconduct. That turned a few heads. The judge flipped through the evidence. I watched Anna's face slowly collapse. Mrs. Price, the judge said sternly, are you aware that falsifying evidence and submitting perjured statements to this court are serious offenses? Anna stammered. I was scared. I didn't know what else to do. I'm not making anything up. You submitted fraudulent evidence and used it to try and obtain emergency custody of joint assets. Your husband's data clearly disproves your claims. Mr. Carson's involvement only complicates your credibility. Motion denied. Her lawyer tried to pivot. Your Honor, my client has been under immense emotional stress. Then she can hire a therapist, not weaponize the court system. One more stunt like this and I'll hold her in contempt. The hearing ended. I didn't look at her as we left. Janet smirked. That went better than I expected. She's done. Almost. The next morning, her lawyer folded. Called Janet. They wanted to settle. Why now? I asked. They're scared. The judge saw right through her. If this goes to trial, she'll be eaten alive on the stand. What's the offer? She keeps her car, her personal belongings, and drops the support request. In exchange, you agree not to pursue charges for the false claims. I laughed. Absolutely not. Then what? Counteroffer. She keeps her car and her stuff. I get the house, the savings, and she signs an affidavit admitting to the affair and the false allegations. And she pays my legal fees. Janet paused. That's aggressive. She earned it. We sent it over. 3 days of silence. Then Friday at 4:47 p.m., Janet called. She signed. It was done. For months after the holiday party. Anna kept her car and her clothes. I kept the house, the bank accounts, and my career. The signed affidavit went into the public record. Future employers. Future partners. Anyone who cared to know would see exactly who she was. Scott? Got sued by the company. Settled out of court to avoid criminal charges. His ex-wife successfully modified his custody arrangement after Janet forwarded the text logs and GPS data. Turns out judges really don't like cheaters who blow company money on hotel rooms for affairs. Anna? Fired. After 3 straight months of missed quotas and internal behavioral concerns, her new manager let her go quietly. Mutual separation. No fanfare. Her professional reputation in the local sales community? Trashed. She had to move back in with her parents. And then last Tuesday, she showed up. I had just pulled into my driveway after work. There she was. Sitting on the front steps, makeup smeared, hoodie too big, skin pale like paper. She looked hollow. Carter, she whispered. Just 5 minutes. Please. I stood at the edge of the driveway. Said nothing. I lost everything, she continued. My job. My apartment. My friends won't even talk to me. I can't afford rent. I have nowhere to go. I just looked at her. At this woman who burned our marriage down to chase a man who disappeared the second the flames touched her. Not my problem, I said. I know I hurt you. I was selfish. I made stupid choices. But I loved you. I do love you. I got lost. No, Anna. You lied. You cheated. You planned to leave me and then tried to destroy my reputation when I didn't roll over. You only showed up now because your parachute didn't open. I just need somewhere to stay. Just for a few nights. The guest room. Please. I pulled out my phone, transferred $500 to her account. That'll cover a motel and food. After that, you're on your own. Her face crumbled. You really don't care anymore, do you? No, Anna. I finally care about me. She sat on the steps crying for 10 minutes. I didn't move. Didn't comfort her. Didn't offer a damn thing. Eventually, she got in her car and drove off into the night. And I went inside, poured myself a drink, and turned on the game. The silence in my house was the loudest peace I'd ever known. Because sometimes, revenge isn't a big speech or a dramatic explosion. Sometimes, revenge is waking up every day knowing you're free. That you survived the fire, and built something stronger from the ashes. The best part? The Venmo request is still up. $6.27 for the takeout she never paid for that night she was working late. Petty? Maybe. But every time she opens her app and sees it sitting there? That's my favorite kind of closure. The kind that costs exactly what it's worth.